For today's monthly card preview video, we're going to do something a little bit different. Instead of putting the image up and then talking about it like that, we're going to do it right from the client because I am in the test client for Return to Clockwork City as part of the preview event. And the November monthly reward card is in the client, and it was revealed by Bethesda today as well. So, ta-da! Worm King's Agent. This is a sorcerer class card, 7 cost 4/4, has a summon effect of deal 2 damage to an enemy creature, and it also has Slay, summon a 2/2 Worm Thrall with Guard. Now, a lot of people are saying that this just isn't good enough. Like, immediate reaction has been, you know, at 7, especially in like mid-range sorcerer, you're already wanting to play Nahagleave or Bone Colossus, and those are true. However, I don't think this card should be immediately discounted quite yet, because I don't think it belongs in mid-sorcerer. I think it belongs in sorcerer control, and that's an archetype that has not been played a lot recently. May or may not see play in the future after Return to Clockwork City, but if it ever does see play, I could see a strong argument made for including this creature for a couple of reasons. First, we're going to make the obvious comparison, which is actually going to be to Skywatch Vindicator. Oh, I've got, hold on. Let's go back to the core set here. So, Skywatch Vindicator is a card. Wow, they're not doing them in any sort of order. And here we go.
Soul Summon uses soul gems to create a new card for your collection.
Yeah, I already know
Soul
that. This
Trap
is what happens when you do it on the
destroys
test server, right? It doesn't
more soul gems.
doesn't recognize that that you've already been here. So like, yeah, I already know what Soul Summon is. Thank you, guy. All right, so this is the card that's going to get the most obvious comparison, and most of the reaction from people have been saying that if the new monthly reward card costs 6, that it would be playable. However, this is the reason it doesn't cost 6. This is already a class card for Mage. And at 6, you get a 6/6 worth of stats. You get a 4/4, you can deal 2 damage to an enemy creature, or get +2/+2. So you either get a 6/6 or you get a 4/4 and do 2, and that's for 6, right? Now, what our friend does in the promotional area, right? So our monthly reward card, Worm King's Agent, is 7, and you still get the 6/6 worth of stats if you slay. So you get a 4/4 and the 2/2 in the form of a creature with guard. But that's after you've slayed, right? So in many ways, for one more, you're getting both the effects of Skywatch Vindicator. Now you do have to have killed a creature, so it's not as good as Vindicator is on an empty board. But as long as you're killing something, this is way better than Skywatch Vindicator, all for one more cost. So when you think about it from a control perspective, this card is also really, really good at just generating long-term grindy value. What I mean by that is that it's a lot like Daggerfall Mage. When you look at Daggerfall Mage, it's a very unassuming card. It's a 3 cost 2/2, and you know, I mean, yeah, it's got ward, but like that's it, right? But Daggerfall Mage sees a lot of play because of the long-term value. So it's a 3 cost 2/2. But then you can potentially value trade into something and get a tome, and then you play the tome to buff something and draw a card. So you're like getting 3 cards, you know, over time. Now it's like a 7 Magicka investment, you know, start to finish, but you're getting like 3 cards out of it. This card has a lot of the same potential. You pay 7, you get a 4/4, hopefully you kill something, and you get a 2/2, so you get 2 bodies, and you've nuked something. And this has Slay. So if you even trade this into another 4/4 and you get no additional value from the Slay, you get another 2/2, right? So you've almost potentially went up 4 cards, or, you know, 1 to 4 cards. You also have other ways to keep this alive, even though you don't have to trade down, right? So it'd be nice if you could also run the 4/4 into like a 3/3, kill that, get a Slay, and then run it into something else to get more Slay. Because this is a sorcerer card, though, you're likely running Ward Crafter, so you can ward this, run it into something, get that Slay trigger. Again, you're probably running Daggerfall Mage, so if you've already got yourself a tome, you can throw the tome onto this to make this a 6/6, trade with something, again trigger that slay. It's not immediately apparent, but this is the kind of card that could generate a lot of long-term value for a control deck. The problem is that Sorcerer hasn't been seeing a lot of play as a control deck, so, you know, if they get enough tools from Clockwork City, this card could sneak in. I don't necessarily even think it's a 3 of in control, it might be a 1 or a 2 of, but the value is there. This is, you know, again, I don't think that it should be pigeonholed as unplayable. I think that, personally, I think it's better than Skywatch Vindicator, because other than playing Vindicator on a naked board, this is almost better in every way, especially in the Sorcerer class. But again, if you're thinking of Sorcerer as a control deck, not a mid-range. Again, in mid-range, yes, you much rather prefer Bone Colossus or Nahagleave, but for control, generating board presence, helping to negate theirs, generating long-term value, this card could easily generate yourself, you know, 2-for-1s, 3-for-1s, 4-for-1s. That's where the value is. Yeah, so I think this card is good. It reminds me a lot of Emperor's Blade. Emperor's Blade is a great card for Spellsword, but it requires Spellsword to be playable before you see any value out of it. This is kind of the same way. This card is great for Sorcerer control. We just need Sorcerer control to be played, and right now it's not played. So that is the November monthly card. Much like my last preview video, sorry if you heard background noise, I was filming this because I ran home from work on test server day so that I could film this. So yeah, sorry for the weird format. As always, I love you guys. I want to hear what you think of the card. You know, I want to hear about cool interactions I may have missed. I want to hear about, you know, why I'm wrong. If you think the card is utter junk, let me know. But again, I think Sorcerer Control could certainly find a home for this. It's just whether or not Sorcerer Control is good enough is yet to be seen. So until next time, may you walk on warm sands.